Welcome to your weekend focus for August the 19th, the 20th, and the 21st, 2016. Didn't even check the calendar before I hit record tonight. My name is Tilly, and this is Tarot with Tilly. And before we begin, thank you, truly thank you we had a card fall out. Page of Wands. Page of Wands. Our thoughts, our ideas, our hopes, our dreams, wanting to bring in balance. The Page of Wands can actually, be swayed, right? He's not a knight, he's not a queen, he's not a king. He's definitely not an emperor or an empress at this point. He's a page, he is a young soul. And so I think that both sides of the coin might look very appealing this weekend for us. Or at least that's how we'll start out the weekend. Maybe doubting where we want to move forward, where yesterday we were so sure of ourselves. Seeing the smaller steps. Now remember that the sun is still in Leo, but it's in the very last moments. So it is looking at the expansion of our self-expression, of our dreams, of what we want to step into, of finding the joy in the moment. Before it moves into Virgo. And then the sun, when it moves into Virgo, will get a lot more, I think, analytical on the small steps, the things that need to be, the things that need to be in place, the checklist. We might get a little bit more critical of ourselves. This almost looks like we could be swayed off of our path very easily. Or people presenting arguments against what we believe in, how we want to go forward, the things that we stand for in life, that they'll have good arguments, that you can see both sides of the coin. So it's in our thinking, it's in our perception, and since it's such a young perception, I think we can be easily swayed. Or at least the other argument sounds very compelling to us. Now, that could prove to be a hardship because then, we're like, oh, so maybe that isn't the path for me. Or it could open you up to, you know what? I need to tweak this plan a little bit. I need to understand exactly my direction, my focus, the end goal. I need to put down a date. I need to start setting deadlines for myself. I can't treat it as a hobby. I must go forward with all my passion, all my desire, all my determination. So how am I going to make that happen now? Or seeing something that needed to be evolved into your plan, into your goals, into your dreams. So we'll put him back in the deck. Is that a bunch of them? Yeah, the Seven of Swords and the Five of Swords popped out now. We could be out here all day, all night. So the Five of Swords and the Seven of Swords. So the Five of Swords, since it would be that's the top card. So the Seven of Swords was laying underneath it because they fell face down. So let's look at that one first. Going back in. Understanding what we haven't really looked at yet. A part of the plan, a part of the project, a part of the goal setting has been missing, or a part we haven't paid attention to. But when we go back through, it's almost like a hiccup in our life, or it could be for some of us something very stressful, chaotic. You think you were through the energy and it shows back up. But it does set us stronger at the end of the day if we don't try to avoid it, if we meet it head on, if we understand why that is in our life and how we need to dissipate it in our life. So I'm thinking it's almost like a problem or a roadblock or a wall that has been put up in our path, and we go back to try and understand it in some way so that we can move past it. Because with the Five of Swords, We're strong. We're determined. We've walked through the fire. We're ready for the challenge going forward. So let's put those two back in. We'll mix them up really good here. And we'll see what our cards are supposed to be. So I don't know how early we got interrupted. Did I tell you that I'm Telly? Did I tell you that this is Tarot with Telly? Did I tell you how much you mean to me? How much thanks I have that you spend a few moments each day with me, giving me support, positive, loving, beautiful support. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart for that. The Moon is our first card. Looking within. The Nine of Wands. And the Wheel. Closing those doors. So if we pay a little bit of heed to the cards that fell out beforehand, even though we came off that Aquarius full moon eclipse, I think it is perhaps showing us the doors that we need to close, the things that we need to put our focus on, the direction on. And I think for the majority of us, it's going within to do that. It's not something so much we have to fix on the outside of the wall, we have to fix it inwardly. We have to heal ourselves in some way. We have to forgive ourselves in some way. We have to put the belief back into ourselves. We have to realize our empowerment, our strength. So that we can begin that new chapter in life. Look at that, 46 new chapters. So 4 plus 6 is 10. Remember, whenever there's a 0, that just amplifies the number prior to it. So it being the 1, it's new paths, new starts, new beginnings, new opportunities, new people coming into our life, being the leader of our life, the pioneer, starting new things, the I am. So go back to the Moon. Now, the Moon being the first card, I mean, this is just a beautiful card to do a chakra meditation this weekend. If you want to do a meditation that really clears out some negative energy and goes into places that have been long forgotten in your subconscious, so that you can bring them out, so that you can face them, so that you can move away from them, so that you can close the door behind you, and seeing that wall or that roadblock that you have been consistently putting yourself, or been putting up yourself. Is it a fear of success? Is it a fear of failure? Is it a fear of not thinking you're good enough? Is it a fear that you don't really have the talent and nobody's really told you you have the talent, so you're not too sure if the talent's really there, or you just think it's good, and what would other people think? And where are you selling yourself short? Where are you keeping yourself out of balance? So back to the chakra meditation, CHAKRA. Put it into YouTube. You'll get 1,000 and some videos, all on meditations. They could be 5 minutes in length. They could be 5 hours in length. You'll probably have to go through a couple before you find one that really suits you. Okay, whether it's time restraints or your personality or the personality of the video. But a chakra meditation would clear out something that we need to heal, something that we have pushed down. And I think the Aquarian full moon, and now it goes right into Pisces, right? It went to a full moon and then it slipped over to Pisces. So it's just as strong into this now, which is endings, right? Forgiveness. Pulling out those unknown things that we've buried so deep inside of us, we don't even remember it. And you go, oh my gosh, I forgot all about that. But it comes to the front so that you can address it. Because you're going to see where walls have been put up in your life, or roadblocks have been put up in your life by you to keep you safe. But you don't need that roadblock anymore. You don't need that wall anymore. So it's really going within, I think, this weekend. The Nine of Wands. Each one of those wands presents something that we think about in our accomplishments and our path forward and what we have done and what we have failed at, and those chaotic sad moments and those happy joyful moments. But here, each one of those wands, I think, represents more of a struggle or a challenge that we have come through. And as we contemplate on them, and here he is holding one up, and see how different it is from the other ones. The other ones are all still white, but this one's got a color. This one's got a spiritual magic happening in it. So through meditation, through prayer, just through some alone time with your thoughts, can move you into a healing space. And you know what? Some of those things in life, some of those things that you have no control over, give it up to God. Say, I can't deal with this one. I'm giving this one up to you. Help me solve it. Give me the answers. Take it off my plate. Help me move forward from it. Give me the wisdom. Give me the understanding. Please. And don't forget to thank them when you do get that wisdom, when you can move past the experience. God, our angels, our spirit guides, all like a thank you just as much as we like to hear a thank you. So don't forget to say thank you at the end of it all. And then we have the wheel, and I think it really is about closing doors in our life, but I think it's closing things that have been holding us back. It's those walls that we built back in grade 2 or grade 5, or maybe in our early teens or 20s. It's walls we built to keep us safe, but we have gained the wisdom, we have matured. And so we need to revisit it. We need to look at it with our eyes of knowledge, our eyes of wisdom, and understand that we don't need that wall anymore. So I think, yes, this is closing doors behind us, but only for those beautiful new doors to open up for us. So remember, we are, it's about the repressed parts of ourselves when that moon moves into Pisces. But Aries is where the moon ends up on Sunday, right? So that's opening the doors. Now, whether it's sustainable energy, well, we'll see. But right now, we're moving towards, it'll probably be a very emotional weekend for many. Or it should be if you are using the energy correctly. By taking some time out. It's okay to take some time out. I think we talked about that on Thursday and perhaps on Wednesday. It's okay to rest. Okay? Be like the little mouse in the hammock. Watch the clouds float by. Lose yourself in your thoughts and your dreams. In understanding who you are. Meet yourself. Get to know yourself a little bit better. Because we have 46, which is the new chapter. And right after the wheel card. On one side is the closing doors, but right next to the opening of doors is our new chapter. Going forward in new directions, seeing the opportunities that lay before us. Seeing how this could be health, this could be well-being, this could be in love. This could be your career, this could be your finances. It's different for each one of us, but it's all the same energy. It's what part of our life is it affecting and how do we move ourselves through it. Because don't worry, you'll get a chance at something that you're not going through right now. Because we rotate, we revolve, we continue, we grow. Let's get our angels going here. So I think a deep weekend, if you use the energy right, plan for a long time. Even if it's 5 minutes. If you listen to Esther Hicks, she says no more than 15 minutes a day for meditation. You're here to live. You're here to breathe the air. You are here to create, to love, not to sit in silence. So when you sit in silence, you want to make those minutes count because you want to be experiencing. You want to be going forward. The Four of Ariel. When you give, you also receive. Being resistant to change, extremes in how you save and spend money. I don't know where the void moons are. I don't really follow that all that much unless I'm looking to spend money, but you should always be aware of when the void, of course, moons are. I think they're called. I'm not an astrologer. Go to your astrologers and find that out. You should never spend money during those times. You should never make big investments. You should always wait for the moon. I think it's when the moon goes into the new sign, then it goes out of the void, of course. So extremes in how you save or spend money. So maybe we are looking at our finances. When you give, you also receive. So look for ways that you can give, that you can grow. Remember, the Aquarian full moon was in Aquarius, which is all about our humanitarianism, about making the world a better place, about bringing new ideas to the table, service to others, perhaps our duty. So look where you can give, because you will receive. And no, it's not instantaneous for the most part, although it can be. The Ace of Raphael, a positive new emotional experience, fulfilling romantic relationships, deep and lasting spiritual insights. I do believe that this weekend could enable us to have some beautiful, deep and lasting spiritual insights. So go with the flow, go with the messages. Even if you don't like the message that you hear the first time around, at least look into it. Understand where your fear lies with that, why you don't like it to hear that, where that path would take you. Because chances are that is the path that you need to take. We just don't want to hear that. We wanted to hear our idea come back at us, and it doesn't. And that's usually where we go, well, I'm not listening to that. Then your ego kind of takes over. And you follow that and you go, oh, my intuition let me down. Sometimes our intuition tells us some things that we really don't want to hear. We really don't want to go forward in that way. So we have to at least take the time to analyze our fear. We have to say an educated no, at least, if we're not going to listen. We at least have to educate ourselves in why we are saying no, rather than just letting fear make us slam a door on that idea and look right away for a new opportunity or a new way forward. So pay attention to your actual intuition, the first thing you hear. Don't edit it, but look at how it could be possible going forward. Look at it with new eyes. We have decision. Release yourself from that which holds you back. A need to detox. Yeah. Unnecessary worry based on a lack of self-confidence. So a lot of what I was talking about earlier really just kind of goes right into this, right? Release yourself from that which holds you back. And I think there are walls that we built that we don't even realize are in place. And by giving ourselves a little bit of alone time, getting to know ourselves, we can tear down that wall and move forward with an ease. I need to detox. Once again, the chakra meditations would be a beautiful way of releasing, but in some way we need to release or forgive, especially ourselves in some way. Unnecessary worry based on a lack of self-confidence, all about believing in yourself. Remember when the, the Page of Wands fell out, and it was almost like we lose our confidence here somehow. Even if it's only a day or two, we kind of get out of balance because we're listening to the other side of the coin, and that makes sense too. But that's only giving us the window of opportunity to really research it and know beyond a shadow of a doubt we are right, or we do need to tweak it. That was good that they told us that, because otherwise we would have walked blindly into that pit, that hole that we would have had to climb out. Now it's easy sailing going forward because we have that new piece of information. The Nine of Michaels. Your worry is unnecessary. Focus on your thoughts, on the outcome you desire. Release feelings of regret, guilt, or worry to your angels. I love the way the angels talk. The Nine of Michaels. So here we are, and we're sitting in our bed, and it's probably bedtime, and this is when your mind kicks open and says, hey, you want to talk? And you say, sure. And it takes you back to grade 2. When somebody dared you to swallow that penny and you did. Your worry is unnecessary. Focus your thoughts on the outcome you desire. Release feelings of regret, guilt, or worry to your angels. Your worry is unnecessary. Your fear is unnecessary. One more. The King of Michael. Wisdom and objectivity are important now. Stay in your integrity, a situation that calls for honest and open communications. And I think this is being the last one. Right away I thought Aries, so the Aries moon is on the Sunday. So maybe the King of Michael comes more into focus as the weekend goes, but the wisdom and objectivity are important now. Our wisdom is important, our objectivity is important. So we need to go with the flow. We need to get to know ourselves. We need to know why we are not moving forward in a certain way. We need to know what holds back our passion, our desire, so we can fully step into our dreams, our destiny. A situation calls for honest and open communication, and that could be with yourself. Maybe with a partner, maybe with a friend, it may be with a coworker or somebody in the neighborhood. But maybe it's a bridge that is a little charred, and in order to stop that bridge from disintegrating and starting to rebuild the bridge between a certain person, we need honest and open communication to happen. And a reading would not be complete without our intuition cards, our higher intuition. See what the animals have to say. What wise animal is going to come and visit us today? Can't make this stuff up. Deep rest. Here's the little mouse in the hammock. So I think he was our Thursday card. He might have been the day before, but I'm pretty sure he was the Thursday card. Deep rest. It's okay. It's okay to take a time out. So here I am. I'm telling you to meditate. I'm telling you to pray. Some alone time. Get to know yourself. And the little mouse in the hammock says it's okay to take time out, to be lazy. Lazy sleep, rest, and meditate. Rest is not idleness, and to lie sometimes on the grass underneath the trees on a summer's day, listening to the murmur of water, or watching the clouds float across the sky, is by no means a waste of time. Mouse says it's time for you to make time for laziness. You don't have to be constantly on the go, after all. That is how you become run down. Spend a little time each day or week doing something you enjoy that is completely frivolous and fun. It could just be an afternoon laying in the hammock, reading a book, watching your favorite old movie, or playing with the kids. This is not a time to begin anything new. It's a time of restoring your spirit. Sometimes rest doesn't necessarily have to be sleeping, but just quieting your mind. Take some time grounding yourself by taking a yoga class, gardening, fishing, spending time in nature. Spend at least 10 minutes a day meditating and just being in the moment. You don't have to physically be at your happy place to go to your happy place. It can simply be within your mind. The more you practice, the easier it becomes. And I mean, I've been meditating for years, and after years of meditating, I've got several places that are my happy places that I've invented in my mind. One's a hilltop with an apple tree. Another is a beautiful white room. It's got a beautiful pink marble altar. I got a full-time piano player on a grand piano playing there in the pit for me. I mean, I built it the way I wanted. I've got several rooms. One's an angel room. One's a spirit guides. I've got a fireplace. And it's my happy place, and I go there to think. I go to, so I can sit there at the window and watch the waves of the ocean. And I'm nowhere near the ocean, so I can still go to the ocean. Where's your happy place? What have you invented as your escape into just peace of mind, happiness? And so I will sit there with, and talk to my angels, my spirit guides, to God in my room. So start by inventing that. Even if all you see is a dark room, but there's a candle there and you in a beautiful chair of your choice, a rocking chair, I see. And just relax there in the quiet and get to know yourself. And then come back and face reality. Because when you're in your imagination, you can go anywhere in order to have those conversations with yourself, with God, your angels, your spirit guides. So make it a beautiful place. Or just stay where you are if it's beautiful enough. You know, I have a creek that I go to. I sit there on the creek bank. I listen to the frogs. I see the ducks fly in and out. I see dragonflies skipping over. And every so often I see a little muskrat go by. I'm watching the birds, listening to the water, and quieting my mind. And it's important for your health to do that. Even if you can only do it 3 minutes a day, do it those 3 minutes. It will definitely raise your vibration. Do just some slow breathing exercises. You don't even need to have a question or something to talk about. You can just sit there and sit in the quiet and see what comes into you. So take time to rest this weekend. Take time to go inside. Take time to get to know yourself. Allow something to come up, only so that you can tear down that wall, so you can go forward. That fear base isn't needed anymore. And that fear base is what's been holding you back, or making the same decision over and over again, the same kind of relationship or the same kind of job atmosphere. Because it's a safety net. So understand why you are making the decisions, the choices you are making, so that you can go forward with the strength. Until we meet again, remember, I do love you.